does he still have that passion, that drive to race the car, to win races, win world championships? You know, it's just it's just a question of, is he happy where he is now, or would he prefer to be in the car again?
Yeah. Well, there's only one person that can answer that, and unfortunately, you can't exactly talk to him about
Yeah.
it.
Let me just ring him up quickly.
Hello, everybody. I'm just here to apologize. This video you're about to see, there are slight technical difficulties with regards to sound. You'll realize that, you'll find out. However, I do fix it later on in the video. You should still be able to hear me. The audio should still be decent, not bad. But yeah, hope you enjoy the video, guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is our first podcast of the year for Formula One. You all know me. I'm Durbanate. I'm joined here by Tegan, aka Mayo.
How's it?
Yeah, this is our first podcast of the year. We do plan on doing more of these, especially around Formula One. Uh, that is our main goal. Well, that is my main goal. 2 more podcasts on Formula One. So we are just about to enter the 2024 season. Tomorrow is practice.
Yeah, practice one tomorrow.
Yeah, FP1, FP2, and then, which is strange because tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah.
Depending on when this video comes out, I do plan on issuing tonight. Or tonight. But
Good
we'll
luck.
see. Um, but yeah, FP1 and FP2 on a Thursday. That's strange. That's different. But I believe it's all to do with religion, and
Yeah.
and it's not even this week. It's next.
Next week in Saudi Arabia as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a knock-on effect to this week. But yeah, we've got FP1, FP2 tomorrow, Thursday, and FP3 and qualifying on Friday, and then the race on Saturday.
And the race on Saturday. Yeah, I don't. It's going to be weird to have a race on a Saturday because I'm so used to, like, on a Sunday just kicking my feet up, watching the race after work. Ending my week off on a good note. Last year there wasn't many good notes. With Verstappen basically winning everything.
There were plenty good nights.
Maybe for you, maybe for you and every other Red Bull fanboy out there, but for the majority of the people, yeah, maybe not.
One,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Last year was, you got to accept it. As much as it was boring, because you knew I was going to win. Almost every
Yeah.
single race, you knew he was going to win. But
Yeah.
you got to respect the what's the word I'm looking for? I was thinking about it earlier on. How dominant Max and Red Bull were.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they had a fantastic season. They just developed a car that
Worked.
from the beginning it worked on pretty much every track except for, what was it, Suzuka, that they didn't win?
Singapore.
Oh, it was Singapore where
Yeah.
Carlos Sainz won.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, that car was fantastic. And even looking in, like, qualifying in practice at Singapore, that Red Bull wasn't looking good, but Max still pulled out, a good race.
Yeah. He pulled out an incredibly good race. I mean, he
Yeah.
didn't qualify in the top 10, if I can remember correctly. But he still managed to get, what, P5? I think it was.
Yeah, it was P5, P6. I'm leaning more towards P5 because that was a race that Russell put his car into the wall, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah,
He
yeah.
saw
So
the
you got
gap
P5.
and he went for the
Yeah,
gap.
he saw the gap. He went for a gap. I even saw a Google image where it was like, George Russell's favorite corner. Yeah, no, but that Red Bull was fantastic last year. I'm pretty sure every F1 fan knows Max Verstappen's national anthem.
Yeah.
Um, it's
It's
yeah,
it's a Formula One outro.
yeah, 100%. And there's this podcast as well, but we'll leave it at that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, from I don't know if you watched the preseason testing or not.
I wasn't able to. What was that like? How was the times? So Max
Um,
did do well, but he didn't set the fastest time.
he didn't set the fastest time. On the first day he did. On the
Okay.
first day, second day it was Carlos Sainz, if I'm not mistaken, and then third day might have been Carlos Sainz as well. I'm actually not 100% sure. I was busy on the third day, so I didn't have much time to watch it. But the first practice, I actually really enjoyed it. There were no red flags, there were no problems. Um, it's just a lot of the guys were focusing more on their race pace rather
Yeah.
than the one lap pace. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we got 8 hours of Formula One, which who can really complain about that? Let's see here. Let's see how the testing was. If it will load.
So yeah. How was that Red Bull car though? Many people saying that the spin-off of the nose side pod
Yes,
from
it looks very much like last year's Mercedes.
but
Very much like
ju- just better.
yeah, 100%. Adrian Newey, you know all those memes where he was looking at the Mercedes car and it's like I can fix her. That's pretty much what he's gone and done. I mean, it looks almost identical. Obviously, there's a few change ups, but I mean, the main thing that people are talking about are those shoulders
Yeah,
um, at the back, at the rear of the car.
yeah.
Um,
Also,
that is very similar.
that size of that nose cone in the front,
Yeah,
that's a lot wider now this year.
100%. My Wi-Fi on my phone has just decided that it doesn't want to work anymore.
Oh well.
There we go.
Okay, you got it.
There we go. Let's see here. Can I load it now? I think it was just the position that I was in, which is weird. Past. Okay, day one. Let's see what the reports were. So on day one, Max had the fastest lap
Okay.
with a 131.344. And then Norris had a 132.484. So 1.1 seconds behind Max.
Oh,
And then it was
bit of a
Carlos.
margin.
Yeah, a bit of a margin. And then it was Carlos Sainz, Danny Rick. The Alpha or the RB. No, I was gonna say the AlphaTauri, but the RB it's looking pretty decent. I mean,
Well,
Danny Rick
considering
did well on that.
there were talks of this year's RB being last year's Red Bull.
Yeah, there were talks about that, but at the same time, if they did that, that RB19, fantastic car for last season.
Yeah, not so
Season,
much.
different story. If
Yeah.
they kept the same concept, yeah, they would be a bit far behind, in my opinion. And then and then day two, it was Carlos Sainz who set the pace for everyone with a 129.92. But if I'm not mistaken, he did that on soft tires.
Okay.
Um, and then it was Perez and then Hamilton. And day three, this is going to be something new for me. Let's see. Day three, Charles Leclerc set the pace with a 130.32. And then it was Russell who was what's that? 4/100ths away. And then Zhou Guan Yu in third.
What? And this,
0.3 seconds behind, yeah.
so
So
did, if we're basing this whole F1 season just off the testing, this is going to be a flipping good season then.
It's going to be brilliant. Obviously, people are like, oh, these teams are sandbagging or they're using lower engine modes and are pushing the car. They've got half fuel runs. It's more of the race, the long race stints that they did
Yeah,
that really tells the tale. Like from what the race stints, Red Bull, their car, those tires do not fall off.
I was going to comment on that. Apparently, the Red Bull car this year, the tires just going to be there and they're going to be there.
100%. Yeah, there was a chart of like all a bunch of different laps. There was like 10 laps of Verstappen, and it was all in like a point 0.2 seconds
Mhm.
between each other over 10 laps, which
It
is wild to think.
is that's scary for other teams, and to know that Red Bull have taken a Mercedes car that was nowhere
Yeah,
and have be like, yeah, you know what, we will take it over type of thing and turn it into something that's going to be great.
yeah. Well, we'll see because there's already rumors of them only having this car for a few of the first races, and then the car is going to change up. So they said something,
Really?
I could be wrong, but they said something between 3 and 5 races, the car could change.
Yo.
So yeah, that's going to be interesting. So they've given this concept a try. They're going to see. Obviously, Mark Elliott, who developed the W13, the W14, had an idea. Mercedes said, nope, it didn't work for us. We're changing concepts completely. Maybe Adrian Newey and Red Bull saw some potential in that car, you
Maybe,
know?
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe they saw the potential that Mark Elliott saw and just tweaked it a bit and made it better.
Yeah. Because I mean, basically, if Mark Elliott threw side pods on the car, that would be the RB20.
Yeah,
You
pretty
know,
much.
100%. But yeah, so there's a lot that I've seen, like just off the race pace stints, Mercedes are looking strong. They're quite quick, quite a lot quicker than that of Ferrari. Um, so that's going to be interesting, especially Lewis's last season with Mercedes before he
Yeah,
goes to Ferrari.
yeah. Let's touch on that because I know it happened a while ago, you know, but now that we've actually been able to come onto the podcast and discuss this, let's touch on that. That was
Yeah,
a big shock. I mean, everybody. I mean, in the beginning, I can't remember the day it was said, maybe a Monday or Wednesday, I can't quite remember. But there were just rumors during the day. And then that evening, I can remember seeing a post on Formula One saying it confirmed everything has been confirmed.
yeah.
That was big.
It's massive. It's probably one of, if not the biggest team changes in Formula One history. I mean, Lewis, great success with Mercedes. What did they have? Eight, nine constructors championships in a row.
Mm. Six
Um,
drivers with Lewis, plus
yeah,
another with Nico Rosberg.
Nico Rosberg. I mean, yeah, we all thought that Hamilton would end his career off with Mercedes, but you know that changed very quickly,
It
and there
did.
were those rumors going around last year. Everybody was saying Lewis potentially going to Ferrari, and then it
Yeah,
was all blown under the rug when Lewis signed that contract with Mercedes. But you know there's a lot of things that have been coming out with the contract as well. um, Lewis wanted a 3-year contract. Mercedes didn't want to give him a 3-year contract. They wanted to give him a 1-year
ooh,
contract. He also asked for an ambassador role until 2030 something.
I can
They
remember
didn't
that.
want to give it to him. Yeah. So Ferrari's obviously come along and been like, we've been trying to get you since 2018, Lewis. What do you want? We'll take you. We'll give you $100 million a year. We'll put you in a good race car, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, they also taking on all of his initiatives. They're giving him an ambassador role. I mean, he's got what he's wanted, just not with the team that he wanted it with.
yeah. But I remembered from one of the drafts of ours, I think it was last year's championship up. Uh, or could it be me this one? Maybe I saw it on a meme. I haven't got to it yet. Where he said he doesn't see himself driving for any other team but Mercedes.
Yeah.
And now look,
And now, yeah, 100%. I mean, he has said before that he's always wanted at one point in his career to race in red, but
yeah,
I think, just with the age that he's at and, the success he's had with Mercedes, who wouldn't want to stay there?
no, exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
But I think over the last since 2020 or 2022,
2021.
I wouldn't even say
No.
2021 because 2021 they were still a decent car. Um,
Yeah,
as a Max fan, I will say I think I was thinking about it today. As a Max fan, I will say Lewis should have won that season, hands down.
yeah,
I would before I used to say Lewis should have won the race, Max should have won the season. But today I was thinking they both came into that last race on equal terms,
yeah. On the same
on
points.
the same point. Max did have a few unfortunates with more DNFs that season.
Yeah,
However, at that point, at the last race, they still came in even points. So yeah, Lewis should have won that race and won the season then. Um,
yeah,
so from 2022, when I mean the second race of the season, he didn't even make it into P10. The didn't make it out of Q1 in the
yeah.
second race of the season. Since then, since that season, the car's just been no way. I think he's been unhappy. So this new season with Ferrari, I think it's going to be a better season for him next year. Maybe his eighth world championship.
100%. I mean, what I'm thinking is maybe next season he doesn't win the championship because when he hopped on from McLaren to Mercedes, he hopped on 1 year before the hybrid era came in. So get used to the team, get used to the
I
car, get
see
used to the
what you
people.
mean.
And then the very next year, that's when they had that hybrid car that, dominated everybody.
Yeah,
Now next year, he's going to Ferrari, get used to the team, the culture, the people. And then we got new regulations in 2026.
yeah,
So maybe Ferrari's cooked something. Maybe Ferrari said, listen, Lewis, we're happy with the development of our engine and our power unit in 2026. We can promise you something brilliant.
mm. You never know. It could very well be like that. And
Hmm,
let's hope for Lewis's sake, it is like that.
100%. I mean, if he could bring Ferrari back to championship ways,
Yeah.
that would be amazing because it's been, what, over a decade now since there's been a Ferrari world champion.
The thing is, in 2022, they could have been world champions with
Yep,
Charles Leclerc. Their strategies, though, are just they're questionable. But at
100%.
at the same time, Charles doesn't have that know-how like Lewis does. He doesn't have the experience to say, "No, I don't want those tires." Not at this point.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, Charles needs to, he's a brilliant driver, fantastic driver. But I think he needs to learn from Lewis, learn
Yeah,
how to win, learn Lewis's lines, how Lewis deals with his engineers, you know, figure out how Lewis deals with certain tires. And then Charles could also definitely be a world champion. I can see
yep,
him being one.
yeah. I could see him being one as well. He has that potential. He
Yeah,
really does.
100%. But now, give me 1 second, sorry. Sorry, my throat was bit wonky there. Now with Lewis leaving Mercedes, what do you think about the Mercedes seat? Who do you think they're going to go with?
There's so many options. There really are so many options. I mean, you've got the likes of Fernando Alonso, Alexander Albon, Mark, not Michael, Mick Schumacher.
Yeah,
Um, even talks of Esteban Ocon.
Esteban Ocon. Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. All right.
So
I yeah, I heard
Carlos
that
Sainz.
Carlos Sainz, yeah, Carlos Sainz could. I think Carlos Sainz. From what I've heard, Audi wants him. Okay,
Okay.
but there's also talks of Carlos Sainz going to Red Bull because Carlos Sainz Senior has been spotted and photographed having conversations with Helmut Marko and Christian Horner.
Oh,
So I could potentially see a Carlos Sainz in a Red Bull. That is something that could happen.
that's very interesting because then technically for one seat at Red Bull, because obviously Max, Red Bull
Yeah,
not going to let Max go. But for
yeah,
one seat, there's four people gunning for that seat.
yeah,
There's Yuki, Daniel Ricciardo, Perez trying to retain the seat, and now Carlos.
yeah.
That's very interesting. But sorry, I'm backtracking here. Just go back on Mercedes.
Hmm.
Apparently, they're trying to get Vettel.
Vettel, I heard about that. I heard about Vettel. It Do you think that Vettel would be able to compete though? Do you think he would be the right person for leading Mercedes? Because
Um, so wait. We're talking about Red Bull. The seats at
no, no,
Red Bull.
we're talking about Seb
Oh yes.
potentially, joining Mercedes, and I was asking, do you think he's the person to really lead Mercedes? Because I know there's talks of George Russell becoming, the first driver for Mercedes, but I just don't see it in him. I think he's a great driver. I just don't see him leading Mercedes as Lewis has. So can Seb do that? Can Seb do what Lewis has done?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I do think he can if he can get into the role. If you know, it's a big if he comes back, because obviously it's all up to him at the end of the day. He retired. Um,
Yeah.
I do think if he does come back, he will be able to lead the team, lead the lead Mercedes into the right direction. As he didn't really do it, he did kind of do it for Red Bull when he was winning those championships.
Yeah.
I think once he left Red Bull, that's when things kind of started going down for Red Bull until they had
Yeah.
Max back. But yeah, I do think Seb could do it.
Okay.
But
I
then
mean,
then again, there's
yeah.
also been rumors of Seb going to Audi as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people want to see Seb back.
Yeah,
Phenomenal driver, great personality in the sport. He's just everybody loves Seb. So I
yeah,
think there's going to be a lot of rumors about him joining this team and that team, and it's just, does he still have that passion, that drive to race the car, to win races, win world championships? You know, it's just a question of, is he happy where he is now, or would he prefer to be in the car again?
yeah. Well, there's only one person that can answer that, and unfortunately, you can't exactly talk to him about
Yeah.
it.
Let me just ring him up quickly. Yeah, but I saw Toto also saying, with the seat being available, they are thinking of taking a big risk. And there's a lot of talk about this Kimi Antonelli guy. I don't know if you've heard much about him, but if they do, if they go with him, it'll basically be a Max and Red Bull thing.
Yeah.
He's 17 years old, phenomenal driver. He was in the European Championship. He's going to F2 this season. He's already got enough points to get a super license. So technically, he could be in Formula One this year if a team took a risk.
Or
But
they can't because of the age.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because he's 17. Yeah. So if he does well in F2, which people are expecting him to, if he wins F2, I think Mercedes go with him. I think Mercedes throw him in a seat, say, listen, we're going to give you 2 years to build you up, get used to Formula One, and then we want you to win world championships for us.
Well, it's a very big possibility. Very, very big possibility.
Yeah, because it would be smart on their side. Imagine you get this 18-year-old who's had success in the how do I call it, the championships that he's been involved in, and you see this potential as Red Bull saw with Max. Let's give him a chance, see what he can do at the highest level of motorsport.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm just having a few technical difficulties here. Um,
Oh, good. It wouldn't be a first podcast if there were no technical difficulties.
yeah, that's true. Trying to get my microphone back up and running. Right now, I'm using my headset mic.
Okay. I was wondering why I got a little bit louder there.
Or have I been quiet?
You haven't been quiet. Are you back on the normal mic now?
Okay, cool. Fantastic. I think you have those buttons as well pressed, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
You sound good.
Okay,
Microphone.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good mic.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
that
yeah, I mean, Mercedes have options. Mercedes have plenty of options. It's just picking the right driver.
they do have, yeah, they've got options. It's just picking the right driver. At the end of the
It-
day, we'll only know what's going to happen at the end of the season.
yeah, because this is going to be a full on silly season.
Most of the
There's
grid
Yeah,
has a
there's 7 drivers with contracts.
Yep,
7. There's 13 drivers up for grabs, excluding the reserve drivers.
yep.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting as to who ends up where. Firstly, I think Alpine, their roster is gonna change. I think either
Really?
Esteban Ocon or Pierre Gasly, one of those two are gonna be gone.
I would have thought that both would have stayed. I thought
Really?
I would think that Alpine will do their best to retain both French drivers, have a full
But
French team.
the problem is they don't like each other.
That's true.
So we've basically got, it's not to the extremes of, I mean, technically they've already had a clash last season where they took each other out, but
Yeah,
it's not like a Nico Rosberg Hamilton situation. But if they don't sort their problems out, it could very much well be. And for Alpine that's trying to get out of that midfield or just try and stay there, if you've got drivers that are unhappy with racing each other and don't like each other, it's gonna harm the team.
yeah,
It's
that's
really
true.
going to harm the team.
That is true. But
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see what the season holds. Let's see how all the teams do because they'll probably start making decisions midway through the season.
Yeah. I think that they'll probably want to see how their drivers do halfway through the season. And then the contracts will just start flying left, right, and center.
Yeah,
You know, it's going to be a very interesting season. And I just hope it's not a runaway season
yeah. Let's see.
for any team.
Even if it is, let's hope that it's still a fighting season between um, Max and Perez. Let's say Red Bull are ahead again. Let's hope
Yeah,
Perez can pull something out and actually, so there's competition.
100%. And Perez is going to have to race the wheels off of his car this season
Yeah.
to retain a seat
Oh,
because,
definitely.
I mean, last season, granted, he got a lot of hate. I support Perez. He came second in the championship, you know. Um, he still did what he needed to do, but Red Bull, you've got to come first and you've
Yeah,
got to deliver.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can't be in a dominant car and not be finishing in the points or finishing
ex
10th.
exactly. I mean, look at Max. Max won the championship, and he could have won the constructors championship on his own.
100% by himself. I mean, yeah, Max is just another talent, that he's a phenomenal race driver. Um, and yeah, Perez just needs to do something, whether that be just backing up Max a bit more. Obviously, Max didn't need any backing up last season, but these other teams, I think they've all developed like Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes. They've all taken big strides in their car.
Yeah.
The cars are looking phenomenal from preseason testing. So if it's going to be closer, you need both your drivers to be doing well.
Yep. Oh yes.
Yeah,
But let's see what happens this season. Right now,
yeah.
first race is coming up. Bahrain. What are your predictions for Bahrain?
My predictions for Bahrain. You know what? This is probably going to be completely wrong, but I'm going to say it. I think Carlos Sainz comes first. Okay. I think Max is second, and I think Lewis is third.
Okay.
That would
Okay.
be my prediction for the podium.
Yeah. My prediction of podium got to be Max P1. Probably the safest routes if I had to pick
Yeah.
someone. Uh, P2, I'm gonna go with Lewis,
Okay.
and P3, I'm gonna go with George.
With George.
With
Okay.
George.
Okay. So no Ferrari drivers up there. No
No,
McLarens.
not even the second Red Bull. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
was.
I feel like Mercedes are going to make a big step. I don't think they're going to be quite big enough to catch Max, but I think it's going to be a P1 Max, P2, P3 Mercedes with Hamilton and Russell.
Okay. Well, I mean, myself as a Mercedes fan, I appreciate you saying that, and I hope that comes to fruition. Maybe Max can be third, and then Lewis and George, first and second. But I just, yeah, I think the reason why I have Sainz first is just from what I saw. There were a few dodgy areas with the Ferrari in testing. The car was sliding out a little bit. Same thing with the Red Bull. Um, I just think Sainz is going to try his best to prove himself this year to show that he deserves to be in a top team.
Yeah.
So I think he's just going to extract everything out of that Ferrari that he possibly can. Um,
Or
yeah,
possibly
so
make
that
Ferrari regret their decision. You never know.
possibly, so that's why I'm saying I think Carlos first, Max second, Lewis third. Yeah, that would be
Okay.
my prediction.
Uh,
You
a
want to talk
top.
about Danny Rick?
What about Daniel? The fact that he could be taking Perez's seat.
The fact that he could be taking Perez's seat, yeah.
Why don't we leave this for the next one? Let's
Okay,
come back after the race Sunday. Oh, so if
cool.
we can, Sunday,
Yeah,
another podcast, and
yeah, we can try. Yeah.
we can talk more. Talk about the
Talk.
race that's just happened and what we think could carry on
Yeah,
for the season.
can 100% do that, bro. 100% do that.
Great. Well, I'm going to end this one here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, leave a comment, leave a like down below, please. Okay, we're not there. I am going to leave Mayo's YouTube channel in the bio. Go subscribe. If you haven't yet subscribed to me, subscribe and click the notification bell so you are notified for whenever I post. As I said, this is something I want to do more. Would love to do more Formula One podcasts. So it's going to happen.
100%. And everyone enjoy your first Formula One weekend.
Yes. Let's
Yes.
enjoy Max winning it.
No, no. I said Lewis is coming third, but let's enjoy Lewis winning it. Come on. Lewis winning his eighth championship his last year of Mercedes. Let's do it, Lewis. Come on. You know you want to do it.
Oh, cool. Thanks for watching, everybody.